You're. I'm back, and as you niggas know, I'm a Supreme fan. I know. Hype beast this. Hype. I know. I'm a. Yeah. Save it. Save it. We're good. We're good. But Katt Williams recently did this commercial in like a monologue form type of thing for Supreme. I watched it already, but I figured I'd watch it again. Maybe I'll catch something on this go around and just talk about it, what he's saying, and share my thoughts. And whatever comes with it will come with it. We'll watch and see what Katt has to say.
All right, you're good to go, sir. All right.
But let me just say first, I need that Katt Williams Supreme shirt when it comes out. I know it's coming, and I want it. And I know probably because of this, I won't be able to get it. But whatever.
Man, I can still hear the audience right now.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm a man of the people. I have to deliver to the people no matter what the circumstances are.
Shout out to 6ix9ine here though. But I'm not trying to get caught up in his appearance. It's more about the words. So yeah.
Thank you, everyone, and no one. Ladies and gentlemen, Katt Williams. Crickets, crickets, crickets. Woo. That might not have looked like a lot to y'all, but that was a comedian's version of hell right there. But it's a new day. And we don't know if we're going to make it through the circumstances we're being faced with. But if it doesn't fit, it ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
And things in this world are starting to not fit. Right now, we have a perfectly suitable clown running the free world.
All right, so I'm gonna pause it right here for a minute. I just want to say, like, people like Katt, and let me see if I can resize his screen right here, because it isn't like his full get up right here. Let me try to like, but what I want to say is like people like Katt who use their voice and continue to use their voice to speak out about things like this. We need them, and sometimes when it comes to like the political climate of America, I don't like to see certain celebrities speak out about things because I don't want them to be the spokesperson for us. I don't think celebrities, just because they're black and rich and famous, it doesn't automatically give them the crown to hold, like to speak for all of us. But what I will say is it is important when people use their influence to point out these things, In this 6-minute video that Katt did with Supreme, it was very short but very like concise. I hope that's the right word. Like it was straightforward, and he touched on what he wanted to touch on in a short amount of time. And it might not be the best delivery, or the best deliverer, or whatever. But what it will do is open eyes to what he's saying, who may not have had their eyes open before. And I think that's a big part, is opening up the conversation to be had about whatever it may be. Let me just get back to the video, because I know y'all don't want to hear me talk the whole time.
We got a guy whose advice included things that no decent crackhead would tell you to do with a gunshot wound. The man said if you have bleach, rub it on yourself. Sprinkle something in your eye. If you see any UV lighting, walk in front of it.
Uh-huh.
But these are serious times. The president's a clown. Who gonna say something that makes sense? As for me in my household, I will. If you need me to say something dumb real slow so you can get it, I'll do that. Watch how it goes. Gravity is real.
And here's another thing I love about this, because he's talking about so much and segueing his talking points so quickly that you'll like miss the sarcastic humor. Like, a gift that comedians have is they can talk about something and you won't even realize like it hits you a certain way until like after the fact. Like, there's people who really will think what he's saying right here, in my opinion, I think he's trying to say like there's people who will look at you like you're crazy for saying obvious shit, as long as it looks like it's coming from the wrong vessel, so to speak, like the wrong person, or they just don't want to hear it from you. You could be as rational as saying gravity is real, and people will still look at you like you're insane. I think with this he's trying to draw that parallel of he's doing the hair for a reason. I feel like he's doing the oversized suit for a reason. I feel like this is his way of saying like they're going to say whatever they want to say anyway, but I'm a speak how I want to speak. At least this is what I'm getting from it. But we're going to continue to play the video.
Huh? Wasn't that simple? You notice how people didn't start hollering, well, bananas matter too. Nope, not the time for that. Let's stick on facts. Black lives matter, period. You can say it, you at home, say it. Wherever you are, no matter who's around, just say it. Say it because it's a fact.
And this is another thing too. Like with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, there's always criticisms, and you guys see it too. Like you always see people saying, "Well, all lives matter. They do matter. So why can't we just say that?" And it's like, well, yeah. Like there's disparities amongst most races. There's things that most races, most people go through within their own culture. There's lots of things, but to say all lives matter, like it does, but it's kind of like taking away from us speaking out. We're not saying that all lives don't matter because we need to focus on Black Lives Matter, but we're just saying let us be loud. I don't know. I'm gonna keep on going.
I want to apologize if some people have seen civil unrest and didn't understand that civil unrest is what happens every time a place is ruled by the people and the people's needs are not being met. Might not be the happy truth you want, but we deserve the truth. Yeah. Even one of the greatest cities in the world, New York, a place that's got 100,000 magnificent landmarks. Even they have deep, dark secrets. They got an island in New York called Hart Island. It's where the unclaimed dead bodies go. Now, you think I'm talking about in the past, don't you? No. Today. That's what this island is for. It's for death and despair. They got mental institutions and all type of things. I ain't never been there. I don't know the recipe. I'm just saying, some of y'all thought you only had two choices, just like this election. You thought your choices was heaven or hell. No, you got another choice, Hart Island, baby. Purgatory, limbo. It's where you go when ain't nobody claim you. You just died and everybody said, you know what would save a funeral? And while that might be unpleasant for some, it's the truth. This is not the first time a great city like New York has been going through this, and this is not the first time that a great country like this has been going through what we're going through. This is not close to the first pandemic. The last pandemic happened in the 90s. It was called AIDS. That's what filled up Hart Island last time, and here we are again. It's an airborne virus, folks. If you breathe air, put on a mask. And because we can all agree that breathing is important, we can all agree that you putting your knee on a man's neck for 8 minutes is just murder.
Now, it's a lot to really take in if you're really like listening. It's like he said all of that to bring it back to his main point. He said all of that to say, all right, we're going through this pandemic and we're still doing out in the open, we're still doing these things. We're still putting our knees on people's necks. I'm gonna save my comments to the end. Actually, I'm gonna just try to get through it.
Televised murder. So now there must be a reaction for that. I'm not gonna hide in a bunker. I'm on the front line with you. For 20 years, I told you the police is out there hurting people, and y'all didn't want to believe me. Y'all just said, "Can't keep getting in trouble." The whole time, I was just glad I made it out alive. If I...
All right, now here's another thing I want to talk about. I've been seeing a lot of videos about the whole police black people divide. I've been seeing videos, people saying like, obviously I did the Candace Owens response months ago about how racially motivated police brutality is a myth, and then they throw in these statistics of, well, look how many black people get killed versus white people, and brutality is also like, it doesn't have to be killing. I'll just say that. And also the statistics, I always read different stats. Like some stats say black people get killed more, some stats say white people get killed more. But whatever it is, I feel like they try to paint this narrative to where it doesn't happen. Like all the complaints, all the protests are null and void, or not even null and void, but they're for nothing, because the truth is, this doesn't happen. But it does. And I feel like when you are a black person getting pulled over, when he just said he was just happy to make it out alive, I've been in those situations where it's like, I got pulled over with my friends. I don't know where this is going to go. Like, and it could be something as little as that. When we see police cars as a young black person, I'll just say as a young black man, because I can't speak for women. But as a young black man, when we see police cars, we don't see police cars. We see the fear part of it. We see like, okay, let me make sure I'm not looking suspicious. There's been so many times where I'm just walking my dog by the park, a cop car will pass, and I'll just be like, damn, I hope like, like you just think of those things. And it happens. But whatever, I'm gonna let him finish.
Now the chickens are come to roost. We are going to get rid of racism this time, once and for all, no matter what has to happen, folks. It only must be identified and then worked on. I have no right to tell people to vote, but I will tell you that even if your choices were as dumb as hickory, dickory, and dock, even if those were your only choices, I would ask you to make a choice. And if you can't make a choice, go on and put my name on there. It ain't gonna count for nothing, considering current legal situations I may or may not find myself in. But I appreciate your vote. It's time to make changes, folks. You can make them there at your own home. Thank you all. Have a good day. Be kind to your neighbors. If you see a sign that says Black Lives Matter, say out loud, white friends. Sure do. Watch how quickly things start to change in the country. White people, if you're scared about Negroes, I'd like to remind you of something. That anger and that rage that you think will one day be unleashed upon white families, you've been waiting on it for 400 years. We're better people than that. I know what you heard. Thugs, animals, monsters. Nope. Better people than that. Not only can we do better, we want to do better, and we are doing better.
Yeah.
And you're free to join us. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to be here. I kept most of the jokes in quarantine in case you were looking for some laughs. If you got some information out of it, I appreciate that. I have already done more than an elected official. I thank you, and good night.
Okay, so that's pretty much that as I slide myself back into frame. So, regarding his last, like, little part, he said about the, you guys have been waiting for 400 years. I feel like he's basically trying to say, like, well, I'm not even going to say what he was trying to say. I'm going to say what I take from it. What I take from it is that there's a narrative, whether you acknowledge it or not, and you can probably see it in comment sections all across the internet. There's a narrative that we, black people, are a certain way. Now, whether that narrative comes from the media, from, you know, music, from movies, from, you know, whatever, from the news, what they see of us, we have this narrative that we are a certain type of people. We have this narrative of, like, we're just angry and aggressive, and, like, I don't know, maybe that narrative plays a huge part into what happens to us in certain instances in the legal system, whether not even the legal system, but just, like, in America's eyes, like, you know, the things that we as people go through, whether it be like police attacks or even something as small as not getting a certain job because our name sounds too black, or we come from this area, or we look like this, or we talk like this. We can't even speak how we speak because it's not considered professional. But whatever. Like, we have this idea of what we are, and that narrative is a narrative that we didn't even create for ourselves. That narrative was given to us by the same people who are using it against us. And I'm not trying to make a whole, like, black versus white thing, because it's so much deeper than statistics and numbers and black and white. It's like a deep, it's years and years of shit that we have to change. But like he said, in this we're not that. we aren't that. It's been 400 years and that we haven't, like, revolted against anyone yet. There's not going to be no race war. So maybe, like, this whole thing, as much as he talked about, as different points he touched on, maybe the end of it is just, we're all people. We're all people, bro. So let's be that. Let's be people. I hope that made sense. It made sense coming out. I hope it made sense to be received by whoever's watching. If you enjoyed this video, you know the shits, comment, subscribe. If you didn't like the video, dislike it. Whatever. Call me whatever you want in the comments, you know, if that's what you want to do. But until next time, I'm off this.